Five, four, three, and we're live. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of CampusCare EdTalks presented by Entab, a platform and so exclusive where the stalwarts of education come on board and discuss their viewpoints on curbing topics related to education. Before I begin, let me quickly introduce you to Entab. We are a 20-year-old IT company engaged in providing mature and futuristic school ERP, CRM, and mobile apps to the top schools spread across India and helps in transforming them from good schools to great ones. In today's session, we shall discuss how should one deal with a discouraged student. That's right. During this lockdown, we've seen that the motivation in students and of inspiration in students was a bit less. So we shall ponder on those views, and for that very specific moment, we have three very special guests with us. First up is Pratheepa Ramanand ma'am, the principal of Vedanta Academy, Chennai. In a journey of more than 3 decades, ma'am has been bestowed with the Best Teacher Award, the Educational Achievers Award in Commerce, Marvelous Mentor Award, and many more. We are honored to have you here, ma'am. Welcome on board.
Thank you so much. Good evening to all.
Good evening, ma'am. Moving on, we have Anshima Singh, ma'am, the principal of Delhi World Public School, Muzaffarpur, Bihar. In a journey of more than 20 years, ma'am has been guiding various prestigious educational institutes like Akash and Takshila School. Welcome on board, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good evening to all.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. And last but not the least, we have Dr. Alpa S. Kotadia, the Director Principal of Vapi Public School, Gujarat. Ma'am has conducted various workshops on leadership, time management, emotional stability for students, parents, and teachers. For her contribution to the field of education, ma'am has received the Nari Shakti Award and guess what? Abhi Women's Day gaya tha. The Excellent School Leadership Award and the Rashtriya Shikshak Samman Award. Welcome on board, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you, and it's an honor to have you here.
Great morning, everyone, and thank you, Himanshu.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, guys, my name is Himanshu Singh, and in case those are watching me on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Click on the bell icon to stay regularly updated. All right, let's begin with our today's webinar. So, Dr. Alpa, ma'am, we talk about that the student is discouraged or maybe an individual is discouraged. What are some telltale signs which might reflect that a student is feeling discouraged or depressed or something of that sort?
Yeah, generally, when the child is, we see some signs like the child is not answering, or the child is sitting silently, not mingling with the others, or maybe not doing the work what is allocated. All this, when we observe, we can understand that child has the problem, and definitely educators have an eye to see that that this child is having a problem. So
Right.
generally, children, cut off themselves from other students. That is one sign. Another is children become aggressive sometimes. They are attention seeking. So there also we see that they have a problem, and so they are seeking the attention. They are becoming aggressive, impulsive, use of abusive words. All these are signs of that they are affected by some or the other thing, and they get discouraged in doing a lot of things what they should do.
Right.
Thank you.
Pratheepa ma'am, Alpa ma'am just mentioned that educators have a knack for understanding and they have an eye for that कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, right? So according to you, if I am not an educator and I'm not a teacher, how can a normal parent understand that there's something missing, something off?
Yes, as a parent, we will very much know, and that too, it differs from age level to age level. For example, when the child is in the teen, the child will not talk comfortably with the parent. Whatever is happening in the school, the child will not disclose to the parents at all. So they will go away with all discussions. So we can very much understand. And apart from it, the child will be feeling very uncomfortable, as well as the child will be very aggressive to the parents also. And the first targeted person in the house is only mother.
So mother can definitely identify how the child was before and how the child is behaving right now. So each and every move of the child, definitely the mother can identify. And very sure in a particular age, they will never respond to the father at all. So it is the prime responsibility of the parents to understand the child instead of taking as a burden or instead of taking and understanding that they are not comfortable with the child. Instead of doing that, they have to approach, they have to really be with them, and they have to be right to support them. They should talk with them, understand them. So naturally, they'll understand their child. So surely, the parents can understand and what help is required accordingly to the need of the child it can be done. So naturally, we have to talk to the child more. Instead of fixing us what is the goal, instead of we fixing up the target, we should understand them and we have to go in their way and then to hold them. So definitely,
Basically, basically, communication is the key, right?
yes, communication is very important.
Right.
It takes a lot of time in interacting with their child.
Right. One of the things which I would love to know about, ma'am spoke about teenagers. Anshima, ma'am, over to you. You think teenagers are much more comfortable in talking to their own peers rather than parents?
I really tell you, Manshu, that that is the only thing they understand. They talk to the friends rather than talking to the parents or talking to the teachers. They prefer talking among themselves. But the thing is that the peers and the same age group have similar kinds of problems. So they don't come up with solutions. Actually, they get confused. And that is the reason why you will find students going for smoking, drug, or something like that, going into negative side of it. I have been teaching students of this age group since more than 15 years. I have seen so many things like that. So what I do, being a teacher, I always try to pin and take out that whatever inside is there and inside the child, like why they are only talking to the friends, not talking to the teachers, why they are not mixing with others, not working in the group, or not following the deadlines, not doing the project on time, not participating in that. So always, certainly, as ma'am said, teachers have had they have this third eye. I can say that they look for those students, those who are pointer, those who are even. I have seen they become verbally aggressive sometimes. That they don't want to participate, they don't want to do anything. The thing is that the parent as well as the teacher, the whole and sole duty of the teacher becomes as soon as they identify a discouraged student to just talk to the parents and find out the basic reason why they are
Right.
behaving like that. Help them out. And that is the only thing. Let me tell you, Manshu, mental health is the least talk about issue in our country.
Oh, this was
And that
this.
is the only concern, big concern, why we are sitting here and discussing about discouraged students.
This is what I wanted to shed the light upon. Alpa, ma'am, you're a doctor, right? So I presume whether you might be a doctor of some doctorate or something, right? I understood that, but still, we have certain taboos and stigmas attached to therapy in this country, which absolutely blows my mind. That oh, pagal hai. Like this is the basic hand down thought process which comes into people's mind, that okay, he's going for a therapy, there's something off in his brain. Ma'am, how can we deal? I mean, let's say we need to change the society, we need to educate the society, all those things are fine, but how do you educate a parent to take their child for therapy? Because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you must be having. I'm so sorry I dragged it on. I'm pretty sure you must be having counselors in your school and everything. So, and if you can provide me some example where it has actually happened, ki parents were adamant, no, 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 no.
Yes, Himanshu, this happens in all the schools, I should say. That because parents are not ready to understand, there is some problem with the child. And as teachers, we understand it well. But how to put up to the parents is very important, isn't it? For example, if a child is very aggressive and we need to work on that, we just tell the parents that we invite them to school, like principal ma'am wants to meet you, because counselor does not speak to them directly, because that also is one hurt. The counselor spoke directly to them. So we meet them and we just say that is a good, all positive points of the child, and then we tell them that the child is not, we will not say it's aggressive again, that parent is going to jump in. So we'll just say that the child has a very high level of energy, and his
Oh,
energy has
yeah.
to be channelized. And for this, I think we need some help, isn't it? As a parent at home, maybe we will not be able to do, and sometimes we give them the tips how they can handle the things at home. But most of the time, they have to come to the counselor. So then we say that our school has a counselor, and she can help. How we can channelize the child's energy. So it's very important that we keep our, whatever the problems are, that positively. Because when you just shoot a negative word, parents will be like, oh, we will not go. And
They'll be
definitely
defensive.
after saying this also, we had parents that they are not ready to go for, the further tasting or further counseling. So 2, 3 times we called them, and then again and again it was like, I was telling, she's my child, and please do this for my child. And then when we say it's my child, definitely they will also feel, oh, ma'am is thinking in this manner, and they go for the therapist, right? But
I'll,
I would
yeah.
suggest that people, just when we have a headache or when we have a body ache, fever, we go to doctors. So when we have any psychological problem or thoughts continuously going or thinking negative, we need to consult a counselor, a psychologist. It's very important, and I think the schools can bring this up by doing continuous orientation programs for parents and sharing that this is not something wrong. It is like going to a doctor for physical health and going to a doctor for
For
little.
mental health.
We cannot say mental health, because when we say
Uh,
mental, again there is a problem. So
yeah.
we need to say that any internal problems are there, psychological problems, we can go and meet the doctors. So this is what we are doing at our Vapi Public School. Continuous orientations for parents and teachers are going on. Thank
Wonderful.
you. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I
Okay.
can absolutely relate to that. And I have no shame in relating to that because I'll tell you why. I was a very notorious child. And I used to act out a lot in school because both of my parents are from civil service background. And I wanted to be a chef, and orthodox parents, and then हमारा बेटा बावर्ची बनेगा and all those things. So uh, cut short. So I used to act out a lot, and then there was this one teacher who understood me, and she recommended counseling to my parents. But my parents, being so learned and everything, they took it a bit of an offended way, that no, there's nothing wrong with our child. But then thank God for my elder sister, that who knocked some sense into my parents. There's nothing wrong into it. You need to go for therapy for him. So that's I can understand the predicament parents feel as well. Ki what will the society talk about and everything. Pratheepa ma'am, how do you undertake all these? Because I'm sure parents won't listen.
Yes, really, it is a great challenge to talk to the parents that, I mean, like a couple of days before, the parents nowadays in the online classes, the parents are sitting next to the child, right? This all happened like 2 days before. And the mother came and she was saying that the child is doing a fifth standard, grade 5, and not writing at all. So I wanted to retain the child in the same class itself. So I was like, is and the online class, right? And definitely the child has a lot of pressure. We say that, right, in online class, the child should write and all that, but the child is facing. We have to empathize the child, right? So the child faces a lot of challenges as well. So no social, I mean, we have to go for the social distancing, not cannot, they can't meet their friends, right? And they don't have any physical activity. They are into the four walls. So the child has a lot of pressure. So we have to understand the pain of the child. But where is the parents? So there is voluntarily they're coming and they are asking for, okay, why can't we retain the child in the district standard itself? So it took time, nearly 2 hours for me to explain in a very nice way to hug the parent, to tell and to talk in her own way to understand that it is not required. And then please go and meet our school counselor for this health asset. So the child is very good, no problem at all. But where is it is difficult for making the parent to understand. So it takes a lot of patience for the teachers as well as for the principal or the school admin, whomever it may be, to make the parents to understand. They think that it is a psychological problem. They're not thinking otherwise. It is understood that it is a psychiatric problem than a psychological problem. There
Right.
are a lot of difference in that.
Right.
So where it is right now, as ma'am said, right now in the coming years, lot of mental tension, stress will be more. So how we have to balance that in order to make it a comfortable way of doing things in a progressive way, that we have to look into it. So
Right.
I think, yeah,
And if we do not able, if we are unable to handle stress from the very get go, because you
yes,
move on to colleges, you move on to jobs, the stress, you move on to maybe a business, the stress just keeps on piling up. So, Anshima ma'am, इससे पहले you'd be, I'll be very honest. I guess from both of the conversations, what I could make out, the most important skill a person should have if they are an educator, to in terms of discourage student, is to know how to use wordplay, so that parents don't feel offended. Ma'am, how do you tackle this situation?
Certainly, what the man said, yes, we cannot use psychological problem, mental problem. We have to obviously put it in some other way. Like he's not, maybe not using the negative. We all know this. Certainly, we are not going to use negative words for that, but we are, see, the very fact is parent orientation, everything is fine. But hardly parents are bothered to think about it. The thing is that we need to, like what I believe, being a teacher, even myself, have done few of the individual counseling. Like one of my students, what he used to do, he was not at all doing any kind of work which was given in any of the subjects. One day I called him. I said, you have such a beautiful handwriting. And you know, when the teachers complain and talk about in the staff room that Bart is not doing this, Bart is not making the notebooks, he is not attentive in the class. So I really feel bad for you. Why you are doing this? So until unless I said, Bart, please, I know you are a good student. Please don't do all these things. And please, for me, you have to study and you have to be attentive in the class. Please do it for me. And what I found that the same very fellow, he was making all his notes, doing all his activities, and doing all the projects. I was so happy. See, I very well know, certainly I also say this to my parents also. Okay, this is two-way traffic. Like the teacher has this giving, the parents also have to contribute. But sometimes, you know, the teacher becomes more and more important for the child. Because what is happening that the parents, somebody is busy with some or the other work. Parents, obviously, father is earning somewhere, mother is busy in household. Then the role of the teacher becomes much more important.
Hmm.
And if the teacher sees it and intervenes it, encourages the child, I'm sure the child, he himself has this capacity. You have to make them believe that yes, you can do this. If a teacher can create this sense of sensibility in the child, now I'm very sure, and I've seen myself, the child, he has developed, grown, and he has become a better student and a better child. So
Right.
I'm very much believe that obviously the teacher has a major role in doing so.
Of course, of course. All right. Moving forward, Dr. Alpa ma'am, now that the schools have reopened, I'm pretty sure your school must have reopened by now. Not all the classes, but the major classes. Have you sensed any sort of discouragement in students, or are they happy to come back to school? What is the mahal like?
Yeah, I have seen children are happy to come back to school, and nowadays when we go out, they meet us. Ma'am, when will the school start? We want to come to school. That is what I'm saying. They're missing the school, and this makes us feel happy that yes, children are missing the school. There were days, when children did not wanted to come to school and they are coming by force. But now I see that they are missing the school, and I've not seen any discouragement,
All
in
right.
coming to school. But definitely, children are worried about, the writing part. And I see now when we take physical exams, they are not able to write.
This is
Maybe
what I
they'll get,
wanted to talk about as well.
headache or nausea, and the teacher has to rush in the class. So there I'm finding out that it is because lack of, written practice at home. They have lost this all this months,
And
and
lack of
that is
attending online
affecting.
classes as well.
Yes. So there also again we have to become a role of counselor, isn't it?
Right.
So we have to just say, as Anjuman ma'am said, that yes, you can do it. Yes, don't worry. Whatever you write is enough, and that is how we keep on doing things, and children start writing.
Right, right. Pratheepa ma'am, this was going to be my next question because I know for a fact I was having this conversation with one of very famous educators. I won't name the name, and ma'am told me that before after lockdown, my school percentage has shot up to 95, 99% on average. I was like, what? Well, and she was like, yeah, because the exams were happening online and everybody, I've had parents call me up and complaining that, we think a child might be cheating. So, Pradeepa ma'am, schools are now, the examinations would be on offline. That has been decided. Students would be discouraged. How did you tackle that situation?
Number one, as ma'am said, the students are very happy to come to school, number one. And then the children are very eager to learn. Now they're coming forward, they wanted to learn. So we do
Yeah.
understand, we have just conducted a sample test in the beginning, right? How, because totally what they were there in the online test, they were getting 98%, I would say 90%, all that. But when they were writing a particular unit in online, it was only totally different, and there is a large, I mean, vast difference between what they were scoring in online and what they were scoring in physical classes, totally different as such. But whereas what we have understood this and what we have done is we have made the students to bring out the own strategy. So they
Nice.
have made it in such a way that where they are lacking, where the attention is required, what they wanted. Because unless and until then they are coming forward. Because when they set the goal, when they set the target, it is not. Because we have to change their mind and they have to, after a long gap, they are coming. Now they are coming with a lot of interest in the school. So we have
Right.
to sustain those interests also. When we go in their own way, we can get things done. So we made it such a way that they have to set like where they are finding it difficult in math, where they are finding it difficult in science. And they brought out their own topic and the strategy, so we followed it. So we have identified the students who are having a difficulty also by talking to them, those who are really out of the way, and then we wanted to talk to them and be prepared in such a way that their own mind mapping and very simple chapters, and we were, I mean, we made the students into a smaller groups also. So it will be easier for the teacher to be with them and to understand where the attention is required and which chapter of attention is required, how they wanted to take it up. So in small groups we have made it. So we are able to identify the requirement of the child. So that way it was possible to do it, and definitely they need a lot of writing practice.
Right.
That is, we're planning to conduct a lot of revisions and all that. But it is surprised to see that the children are very cooperative. How it was before, I think even we had the principals meeting last 2 days also. There, every teacher, everywhere, every principal is sharing that the students are highly cooperative. And ma'am, Alpa ma'am also is sharing. The students are very eager to come to school as soon as they wanted us to be with them, as well as they wanted to learn. It was a very positive. We were thinking in a different way actually. But whereas when we see, it was really a great surprise for us. The children are so cooperative. So when they're very cooperative and they wanted to learn, our job is very easy. So we can definitely help them to come out with a fear, and as such we can ease them to learn.
Wonderful. Very quickly, as we're drawing closer to the end of the webinar, Anshima ma'am, when I was a child and when I was growing up, so My parents often used to give me some sort of inspiration or motivation, or let's say incentive sort of thing. I won't call it bribery, but some sort of incentive sort of thing wherein you get this, you'll get a new video game. Do you think such type of things help students to get
For,
to get
for,
encouraged?
for sure, Himanshu, it's every time. Like those who have studied psychology, they will understand this better because rewarding always motivates. So I every time instruct my teachers, like the students who is wearing proper uniform for the whole session, give him a nice badge. When they are coming, they are doing their projects. The person who is doing the best, please give them badges. Like rewarding of some kind. It is not necessary that it should be monetary.
Monetary,
It
yeah.
might be a picnic. It might be an educational trip. It might be an excursion, unplanned one, not the planned one.
Right.
Like the history teacher might take them to a museum. If you do this project nicely, I'll request ma'am to take you to this place. So there might be a class picnic also. So reward of some kind is obviously motivational. It always gives boost up. It really boosts the morale of the child, and he or she gets motivated to work much better. So rewarding is the best of the things. Like that what I said, not necessarily monetary. It can be of anything. Like it can be a new dress or a new. We can ask parents. Like I remember one of my child. Obviously, she is no other example. She also liked pizzas. So when she did well, her nursery teacher called me up and she said, "Ma'am, please take her to Pizza Hut because she did well in the exam." So, so this kind of a thing, not necessarily. I'm not at all saying that go for junk food, but I'm giving one of the examples. Like rewarding is certainly a beneficial thing. It can be of any kind, and please, I request all the teachers every time I ask my teachers, please give them batches. There is no problem. Make matches. You can teachers can make a numerous and beautiful. It is not that what I'm saying is meant for the children or the primary level. Even in the secondary level, I can tell you the students used to, like when I was working with EPS, I had was the students were around 9 and 10. They were also so much they cared about the green stars and the stars which they were star chart was put up in the class. I used to say, who is going to get a better notebook, a better handwriting, or better marks in the test? I'll give them 2 stars, 3 stars. So we used to work hard, so much hard, and just for the stars, green stars, like they used to get scholar badges and scholar blazers on those green stars. So even the secondary students, they used to work so much. So certainly incentive of some kind is definitely a motivating factor.
I guess that's why the naughtiest kids become the monitors of the class.
For sure, for sure. We also do this.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, everybody, for giving me your valuable time. Doctor, I told you I'm going to keep it short, simple, and crisp. 30 minutes. Closing remarks, Dr. Alpa.
Yeah, just I would like to say that we all need to, keep ourselves calm and peaceful. Children also, we need that, and educators should have that state of mind. Then only they will be able to pass it to the children. So I would recommend here, because I know many people are listening to us, that each and every educator needs to do some breathing exercise, that is our pranayama, yoga, and meditation. And a recommendation to parents also, because when parents also start doing it, will be a family culture,
Yeah.
and children will be also doing that, and definitely we'll find out the mental health level will be, I should say, mental health will be healthy
Yeah.
for every one of us,
Right.
right?
Right.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alpa. Ma'am, Pratheepa, ma'am, closing remarks by yourself.
Children are not vessels to be filled, but they are lamps to be lit. So we have to identify the strength of each and every child, and then we have to hold them and we have to walk along with them. So definitely they will reach their fruitful destination. So it is the responsibility of parents, teachers, and the school to hold them, and the society too, to hold them, and we have to handle them with care because the children are children. It is our prime responsibility not to blame the children, but we have to hold them to reach their destination.
Uplift
So,
them basically.
responsibility.
Yeah. Anshima, ma'am, what are your closing remarks?
Like Himanshu, I know you have given me such a beautiful platform where I'm interacting maybe at world level. I would have a simple request to all the parents. Like, please do take care of your children. They, because you have brought them in this world. So it's your duty. Just paying the school fee is certainly not
It's
only
not enough.
objective
Yeah.
of yours. So you have to take care of your child. He is a flower. Certainly, you have brought him or her in this world. It needs to bloom
Yeah.
and to the fullest. So my request is to all the parents, kindly look after your children because you are going to support us. We'll give you the definitely we can do the miracles.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody.
Wonderful. So
You.
there you go. There you heard it. Educators will obviously be able to do the miracles only if the parents give them the support. Thank you so much, Pratheepa ma'am. Thank you so much,
Thank
Alpa
you
ma'am.
so
Thank you
much.
so
All the
much,
very
Anshima.
best for
Thank you,
everyone. Thank you for the
everyone.
opportunity
Have a
given.
nice
Thank
day.
you.
Guys, subscribe to the channel, please. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thanks.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.